Hi there, today we're going to learn how to use the integer data type and to define a variables. So in the previous video we learned that how to have an output on the screen in the console. So this header file is responsible for outputting and inputting in the stream. So this using namespace std is to have a standard character output and output. And this integer main is the one who execute our code. So let's try to make a variable. So in defining a variable, we define first the data type. So let's add int. So this int is data type that accepts integer values. Let's for example, let's add a variable num. I will call this num, and after the variable we add the equal sign. So we define these variables an integer. So in defining an integer, we just add numbers. So it could be 1 or -1. It is just a whole number, an integer. So now we define a variable, and in the last thing in defining a variable, we add semicolon here. So that's how to define an integer variable. And let's try to output this integer variable. So the num variable is in this the value of the num variable is equals to 1. So we expected that num will be outputted as 1. So let's try to see out. So standard character output. So the meaning of the see out is standard character output. And double less than sign here. So standard character output and less than sign here. And after that is we're going to add our variable name. So let's add num and semicolon. So as we run this, we can see that the num is outputted here. So you can see that it is 1. So let's try to change this value here. So let's 564, and as you can see 564 is outputted. You can also make this negative if you want. So as you can see, you can output the variable in integer. So the purpose of this integer is to have output to have a data type that has a value of integer. So integer is only negative or positive. So that's what integer means. So let's try to have an input. So basically inputting will be just we're gonna add standard character input. So cin for inputting. So cout is for outputting, and cin is for inputting. And for inputting, we just add the greater than sign here. So double greater sign here if you are inputting, and cout for less than sign here for outputting, and inputting is greater than sign here. So let's try to output this num. So we just basically says that we just want to our user to input num. So let's add this one. So let's try to input a number. So we're going to prompt the user to input a number. So and after that we're going to add cout here, so to show what the user inputted. So num, and so this program will flow here, include iostream and using namespace, and after that this will be executed, and we declare a variable that is called a num. So this variable it will have an input here. So we just prompt the user to input a number. So after that the user will input a number. So we will input a number, and that will be outputted. So let's try this thing. So this says input a number, so let's try to input a number. So 13, and the 13 also outputted. So as you can see, there is no space here, so we can just basically add here space and colon here, or space and space here, so that it will have a gap. So let's try to 15, add 15, and 15 also outputted. You can also add output here your number. So we're going to add quoted string here if you want to add string or text here. So your number, so let's try to testing here, test this. Oops, forgot to add less than sign. So you need to add less than sign here if you're going to add quoted string and a variable. So that's important to add this less than sign here. Less than sign and quoted string, and less than sign again, and this now. So let's try this thing. So input a number, so let's try to 15, add 15, and your number is 15. So this basically works as we expected. So we can also remove this the value of the num, because the value of the num will also be changed. So 15 and 15 also. You can also remove the value if you want your user to input. So if we add, let's say 25 and the num, and output this num. So let's add NL. So NL is basically end line. So this will be outputted as number 25. So before the program prompt the user, it just basically output the number 25 as we expected to happen. So this will prompt the user input a number, and let's try to add 3 and your number 3. So this basically change the number, or it overwrites its variable. So the variable has changed. So this before our program prompts the user, the value of num is 25, and after the user inputted this number here, the number also changed. Also, we can also add a lot of variables. Let's try to add variables. So let's try my variable is equals to -1. So my variables, this will also be indicated as integer. So if you want to add a lot of variable and just an int, you can also add comma here and space and my variable, or anything what your variable name is, and equal and the integer. So let's try this, and let's try to change this my variable. So my variable will be -1, and that's it. So let's try to add another one. Also, if you are defining a variable, your first letter of the variable must not be any number. So if you add 9 and num, so this will be your variable. This will not work. This will have a problem. So in defining a variable, you need your the name of the variable must not start with numbers. So but you can also end the name of your variable with number, but not on the first letter of the name of your variable. this will work also. So as you can see, this also works. On the next video, we'll tackle on how to define the double, float, and string, and another data types. So stay tuned and stay safe. Goodbye. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned a lot in this C++ tutorial. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you have any question, please let me know in the comment section below. Now that you have learned how to use an int variable, what about how to use float data type? Find out with this video, or learn more how to use the string with this video.